Hi everyone, it's Don. Well, I just had a procedure done yesterday. I'm a little sore, but I'm doing fine. But it was a very unique experience. I've never done a procedure like this through all my treatments. So yesterday I went into the hospital and I was having a biopsy done, which was fine. You know, I'm expecting it. At first I was told I would be sedated, and then I was told, no, you're just going to have a local anesthetic. Okay, well, I've had things inserted here for, when I was going through my chemo treatment, so they could just hook up and I didn't have to have a pick in my arm. And it's the same thing. They just freeze it, put it in and everything. But this one was really different because they're going in to take something out as opposed to put something into your body like at top level. So they actually do it in a CT scan room, which I was not prepared for. I honestly did not know that's where I was going or what I was doing. I expected to be in an operating room with a full gown and everything like that on, and no, it turns out I was in a CT scan, and what they do is they run a scan. They put over the location where they're going to go, they put this patch on your body, and then they go in, they run scans. Now, during the scan, they have a machine that'll tell you to do three things. It says, because you have to pay attention to this for later. It says, breathe in, breathe out, hold, which means they want you to breathe all the air into your lungs, exhale it all out, and then sit still with no air in your lungs for a certain period of time. So they did that like 7 or 8 times while they did the CT scan to find out the best place to go in with the tube, because it's like a long tube that goes in, and then the needle goes through the tube into the area, takes out a little piece and comes out, kind of thing, right? So that was fine. And then they give you you're gonna feel a little prick on your back and from the needle, and okay. It was more than just it was a jab, but it froze up pretty quick. But they have to keep adding the freezing to the location, because the deeper you go, the more freezing you need in the area. So they'd start off, and what they did is I'm lying like this. Well, the doctor was on this side behind me. I can't see nothing. I'm not allowed to move. They said, just stay as perfectly still. You can't move for the next 30 minutes when I lie down. So they line you up like this, and a doctor's on this side, and another either doctor or assistant is on this side, and one of them is going like this with his hands, and he's telling the doctor if he's straight or not. He's lining the doctor up by visual. Now, these guys have done it for 100,000 times, right? So they know what they're doing. You would just think there'd be is there a level? Like carpenters use levels to make sure things are straight. But I guess on your back, you're not going to be able to. But they got a laser thing. You'd think they'd have something by now that would do that. But they knew what they were doing. I'm not complaining at all. I just thought it was kind of strange. And then they pushed that needle in a little bit, and then all of a sudden it would start to hurt. And I'm not moving at all. Like, I don't want to. You don't want to move and have them start all over again. And then they put in more freezing, and it freezes the air. Okay. Then they push it deeper, and it starts to hurt again. And so, but not severe. Not enough where I was ready to say, hey, that's enough. Hey, that's enough, guys. It was tolerable pain. Like when you go get your blood work done or something, and they poke you in the vein and you're getting your needle for blood. It's something along that line. So it's pain, but it's not searing agony pain. As long as you have some tolerance to pain, you're okay. And I have a pretty good tolerance to most pain. But then came the procedure. And that whole breathing thing. Because now it's not the machine telling me overhead. Now it's the doctor. And so you're sitting there and you're lying like this. And you're listening. And there's all kinds of stuff going on. They're moving. They're talking. They go, breathe in. And I breathe in, breathe out. Don't breathe. Now the first couple times he said it like that. Pretty loud. But then by the 5th or 6th time they're doing this, it went, breathe in, breathe out. And then, I don't hear the breathe again, Doc. I don't know if I can breathe. And I'm lying here, I don't want to ask anything, I don't want to move, I don't want to, and if I start to talk, I'll use up more oxygen, so I don't want to do that. And at some point I just went, and finally, after about 2 times of that happening, 2-3 times, the doctor noticed that I was holding my breath longer, like kind of thing. And so he started moving closer to me to say, breathe. Go ahead and breathe, like that. When he noticed at one point, I was going for like 30, 40 seconds where I hadn't breathed anything yet. And that's when go ahead and breathe. He must have said, because I'm sure he was telling me to breathe, I just didn't hear it. And my hearing's pretty good. But like I said, one of my ears is under a pillow, and so and my other arms are up like this, so it's partially covered, and and you can hear other talking going on and the machine whirling over your head. So it was kind of comical to me. It was kind of funny. But you don't want to mess things up, so you're literally lying there holding your breath, praying that you can breathe soon. But then procedure finished, and out it goes. I still had the Band-Aid, and they said no long physical exertion for the next 24 hours. And then when I got back to the nurse and they're reading it, it says 48 hours. The doctor said 24. Paper says 48. Like, no mowing my lawn, no heavy lifting and things like that. But otherwise, I'm able to continue on with my regular stuff. So I went grocery shopping on the way home yesterday and got some stuff. Last minute shopping for the trip coming up this week. And yeah, feel pretty good. Like I said, a little tender in the back, but not enough to hamper me anywhere. Just every once in a while I'll twist in the wrong, and it might even be the Band-Aid. I haven't removed the Band-Aid yet. I'm going to do that tomorrow morning when I shower and leave it on for one more day, and then take it off. But it might be just like the tape pulling on my skin. That's kind of like the uncomfortable stuff. But yeah, feel pretty good. Things went pretty good in the operation, and the doctor did talk to me and everything afterwards. He says, oh, you did really well, etc. And he says that it was a really small nodule that they had to work with. It was first he says it was a small nodule that they had, and then that he corrected himself and said actually a really small nodule to try and get to. And I went, well, that's good. He says it would never have shown up on anything but the PET scan. Not a CT scan, not anything. The PET scan only was the only thing that would have caught that. So I said, oh, well, the smaller the better, right? So I still have a little bit of hope that when they go in for surgery, if this turns to be benign, great. No surgery, no nothing. If it turns out to be cancer, which is highly likely, the odds are like 95% yes, that maybe they don't have to remove the whole adrenal gland if it's that small. Maybe they're just going to be able to chop it off kind of thing. But I'm okay either way. I trust their decisions. Like I said, I've been here 6 extra years that I could not have been here thanks to my doctors. And so if my doctors tell me this is necessary, I'm going to follow their instructions to the letter.